Hi, I'm John Pisalis, real estate analyst and founding broker of Realosophy Realty, where I lead our team of agents in providing data-driven real estate advice to home buyers and home sellers throughout Toronto and the Greater Toronto Area. Now, ever since the province of Ontario introduced a state of emergency in response to the coronavirus crisis, I've been tracking the real estate data weekly given the increased volatility in the market. If you find this video helpful, please hit the like button, and if you want to stay up to date on all my latest videos, please follow this page. So we're in week 9 since the state of emergency. How has the housing market changed? So typically what I've been doing is I've been comparing sort of the year-over-year change in sales and in new listings. This week what we're going to do to get a better insight into what's going on is we're just going to look at actual sales volumes, the number of properties that have sold. So if we look at the number of homes that have sold each week since mid-March, when the state of emergency was declared, we can see a really rapid decline in sales from mid-March to the week ending April 11th, and that was pretty much the low point in the sales volume. Now what's interesting, the market has actually turned since then, and what we've seen is that sales have been increasing every week since then. And for the latest week, the week ending May 9th, sales are actually up 63% higher than they were the week ending April 11th. Now, normally we don't really track sales data week over week because, as we move further into the spring market, we expect sales to increase, but this environment is quite different. I mean, technically it's still a state of emergency. A lot of businesses are still closed, so we don't expect the same types of things to happen. So it is interesting to see this rise in sales. I mean, it's telling us that buyers are starting to get back into the market, and that's really causing this increase in sales over the past 4 weeks. And it's an interesting trend we've kind of been spotting, in these videos. We noticed it even a few weeks ago. So that's the big trend in sort of the sales volumes. Now, what's been happening in terms of the inventory, so the number of homes available for sale, we also see, when we look at the charts, we see a big rapid decline in inventory. I mean, it picked up a little bit in sort of the week ending April 11th, but since then has pretty much been trending down, which means every week that has passed, we've seen fewer homes available for sale than the previous week. This most recent week, May 9th, there was a slight increase in inventory, but not a lot, certainly. And really, what does this mean to the market? It has actually meant that the market is actually heating up, interestingly enough. It's actually becoming more competitive. I mean, if we just think about it simply, we have more buyers today competing for fewer homes that are for sale. So the market is actually tighter and more competitive this week than it was 4 weeks ago. And again, it's not intuitive. I don't think it's something that most people would have expected, but that's actually just what's happening in the market right now. And the reason it's largely happening is because, again, buyers are coming into the market and sellers are not keeping up with the increase in demand from buyers, and that's actually tightening up the supply. Had sellers been kind of also jumping back into the market at the same rate as buyers, or even a slightly higher, the market would have remained balanced, but they're not jumping in as quickly. So that's really what's keeping the market relatively tight right now. So there's a couple of things sort of that means, as a buyer and as a seller, and a couple of takeaways. I mean, number one, this certainly doesn't mean the market's going to stay like this. I mean, this is the trend that we're seeing today. The market could turn anytime. I mean, if sellers really rush into the market the next couple of weeks, that can completely change the dynamics. But as of right now, the market is more competitive than it was 3 to 4 weeks ago. The other important takeaway is that all of these statistics, these trends are all for the GTA, and what's going on in a particular neighborhood for a particular house type is going to change. So what we're seeing in downtown neighborhoods, for example, they're starting to get bidding wars again. This had slowed down for a few weeks, but they're having offer nights. You're getting bidding wars. You're getting bully offers. In some of the 905 areas, where some of the bidding wars weren't as common, the homes are just selling a little bit faster. But in some regions, in some types of homes, you're not going to notice a difference. There's just a lot of homes just sitting on the market, especially, for example, in some of the higher end areas. So to kind of better understand what's going on in the market, you really needs to look at sort of the regional area that you're considering, the neighborhood, the type of home, the price range, because all of those things influence what's going on in the housing market, and obviously how you should base your decisions, whether you're a seller or a home buyer. So you want to be looking at these statistics weekly. If I said anything that doesn't make sense, or if you have any questions, please post a comment below. If you have any specific questions that you prefer to send me by email, just shoot me an email at askjohn@movesmartly.com, and I will see you next week.